Hey, beautiful people, top of the day. Happy Tuesday. It is election day. Sawubona, Tiffany, Sawubona. People already out right now. They're getting ready to vote or voting as we speak. Of course, they've been voting the last few weeks, but today is the day. Today we find out who the commander-in-chief will be of the United States Corporation. Hey, 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 girl, hey. Good morning, Jolie. Trina, hey, girl, hey. And yes, if you didn't know, the United States is a corporation. It was incorporated back in, I want to say 1933. The United States Corporation, yes. This is a business. It's a conglomerate of businesses, and if you actually do some checking into it, you would see that your different states and your cities, although they call them governments, they are incorporated. They are businesses. They run them like businesses. Betwabu, honey, betwabu. All right. So today, gonna have the elections on for, well, I guess what time they start tallying them up? Probably about 5, 6, no, probably about 7, something like that. But anyway, most of the day is just gonna be them going around showing the different polls, the newscasters and stuff, showing you the lines, and people be doing commentary on this and that. A couple people be giving their predictions, and then you'll have the guy with the big board telling you as the tallies start coming in, because some of them will start tallying them a little bit early. They'll start letting you know who has taken which state, and if a state that was traditionally red has flipped to blue, and if one who was traditionally blue have flipped to red. So I think we might have the results by midnight or before midnight, y'all. Good morning, Leisha. I think we'll have the results before midnight. All right, y'all. Let me check something. Oh, okay. 10, 13, 12. Oh, why not? 98. What? No, son, I didn't. Because remember you said, let you look at something and then you will send it to me? I never received that from you. So, no, I didn't order it. Peaceful Risings. After midnight, Tiffany, think after midnight? One thing I do know, the current POTUS has his lawyers on standby. And let me be honest.
Today's election day. Yeah, are you ready for two dumb white dudes to get elected?
Boy, get out of here. We are like live. Watch your... Everybody know that already. You ain't even got to do all that live on the camera.
Anyway, I was assuring them that y'all need to know that we about to.
Teenagers.
President should not be over the age of 50. Okay. Common fact.
Well, Jeremiah just said he don't think the president should be over the age of 50. Some presidents don't really start maturing for real until around about that age, about 40. It would common sense start kicking in for real. Not everybody. That's not, to me, but women too, but I'm just saying for the most part, that's why they set the age range so high, because it gives them time to develop, especially if they've been in government or if not. But I kind of do agree with that. I don't think that they should be over a certain age. Just like even with the temple guardians, that's not what they're called. But anyway, the Levitical priesthood, once you get over age, correct me if I'm wrong, if y'all remember it, Jeremiah might be right. I think it's the age 55 or 65. I think Jeremiah might be right. You can only serve between the ages of actual priestly positions, I want to say between the ages of 35 and 55. I got to check that, y'all. But I know you couldn't even go into service until after you were 20 years old. But yeah, and definitely I really don't think some of the positions should be held long term, simply because you could be, say if you're greetings, say if you've been holding office for a long time, some people, not all people, get what I'm saying, some people tend to be compromised with some of the new blood that's coming in, and if you stand in for a long time, you kind of get comfortable in your position. And if nobody else is running up against you to take your seat, a lot of times by default, those people get to keep those seats, unless, like the office of the president, you can't serve any more than 2-year consecutive back-to-back terms, so a total of 8 years. But governors, I want to say governors' terms they're 4 years, but I don't think there's a limit on governors. I definitely know there's not a limit on House of Representatives and Senate, because I was looking at the House of Representatives, the one for my particular district, and I was like, shoot, what are they doing here? I was like, I'm going to run for one of these positions. Pull all my stuff together, make sure, because I'm paying attention. I'm like, okay, this is what they do. People that's running for office, they get all into your business, so you got to be careful of stuff that you put out. If you foresee yourself possibly running for a government position, you have to have foresight, knowing that they're going to start digging into your past. So if you know that when you're younger, you'll keep your current lifestyle and everything that you do above board all the times and be squeaky clean, because they dig all the way back to like your early 20s and stuff, and into your businesses and everything. So you would have to get those things done and take charge of those things and stay on top of them pretty much your whole life, for real. At least from the time you think you're about to run for office, government office or whatever. Even if you have done something in your past. I was even watching the training. I went and I got a training for people who want to eventually take public office. There's a training and different things that they take you through, and especially if you have something in your past, how to get it cleaned up before you run, because it's 100%. They were 100% sure that if something is there, they're gonna dig it up. And so they tell you, okay, it could be bad, but the thing is, you got to put yourself on blast before they put you on blast, and you have to control your own narrative. You have to present it to the people before the media can come in to present it to the people in a way that's not so presentable to you. So say, I don't know, yeah, if you murder somebody, you definitely ain't gonna run for office. But say, I don't know, maybe like a big business dispute or something, maybe something bad business deal or something like that. Maybe you really were wrong. You need to, first of all, correct what you did, pay recompense to whoever you done screwed over or whatever it is, and make that business dealing right, whichever way you can. Because first of all, that person that on the receiving end of your bad business, all of a sudden they get real vocal when you're running for a public office. So you need to make amends with them. You don't need to tell them ahead of time, but you just need to have foresight. Okay, listen, this was wrong. I apologize. What can I do to make this right? Repair, restore, give them a big discount, whatever. So that person no longer has aught against you, because when it's time to come out, that person be like, I remember that guy. You know what? That person, I know that person. I had a business deal, and then he definitely was wrong, and I was heated. But you know what? That guy or that woman came back, and they made that right. Now you kind of got a friend on your side and not a foe. And I don't think a lot of people think about that. They just kind of jump out there. Like the current president, he probably, I don't know, personally, if y'all have been watching through the years, I do believe that our presidents are selected. I truly do believe that. I believe that your vote matters in a way, but then again, that's why they have the electoral college, because eventually in the end they end up selecting the party who they want to be in office anyway, who's the best interest of not necessarily for the American people, but for in the best interest of those currently in power. Hey, good morning, Shelby. But those ones currently in power to push whatever it is that they're trying to push in, the current country, wherever the ruling power is going to be, So if people would have foresight, a lot of these mudslinging things during the campaign trails and stuff, we wouldn't see a lot of those things. And honestly, for real, I don't even really think those things are necessary, especially, here's what I think it should be. Because remember, Republicans and Democrats, it's the same government. Why would you have, granted they're different sides and they have some opposing views, but why would you have your government? First of all, we look like a fool in the eyes of every other country around this place. It looked like we're imploding from the inside and our government officials can't even work together. That's what it looks like to outsiders. And when you do that, you're keeping up all this ruckus in the media and you're interjecting thoughts and views. Some may not even be true and may be highly skewed into the people who are going to be voting. Personally, I think, okay, you know what? May the best man win. I think it should be a good competition between both sides. I think both sides should learn how to work together, not mudsling against one another, because it's the same government that you both are working for. And even if they hold Senate seats or Republican seats, they may go back to their seat if they lose the race or whatever. But it's like you working for one government. Let's work together instead of mudslinging. Instead of trying to oust this person with bad ads and stuff and digging into their past, be a good team player. Yes, babe. Go check in the living room. Did you walk there? I don't know. They may be hiding out of my room or something. I think it should be a good competition. Like, if you ever seen debates in high school, I don't know. They just on a whole nother level of doing things where it's like, I don't know. It's not productive to our country, I believe. I really don't believe it. I think if there were more on the side of working together, not that they don't have to be buddy. I hope I'm explaining this the right way, like how I see it in my head. They should, because it's one government. It's like when they do this, they split the government, they split the rule in half, and now you got mass chaos on the inside of the country. Now that you have to lead, doing this campaign trail and doing these debates, y'all have split the country, with all this craziness. And there are some things that I believe should have been handled, like a lot of the stuff, like them preparing for a possible civil war and all this stuff. I think that is absolutely crazy, because the current commander-in-chief, I don't really speak bad about anybody, and I'm not going to speak bad about him. I think there were some things that could have been done to kind of prevent some of these things, but as I look at it, it's like, when the media try and hype stuff up, I think he has the power to shut things down real quick and not let people just go on and assume what they want to assume in their heads of what's going to happen. So because they've done that, and because they haven't shut a lot of this stuff down, it's like the world is like, we're going to oust you because you are the one who is bringing this country to the brink of civil war. That's from what I get, from the last few months of what's been happening. And the current commander-in-chief not stepping up, saying anything. It actually seems like he's boosting up the tyrants and the vagabonds in the land to get away with stuff. And it's like nobody's being held accountable. So this is a complete mess. I was going to say something else. I wanted to say something else, but I don't want to curse. But y'all get what I'm saying. It's a complete poop show, but it's a complete mess. What's going on, y'all? So, but we'll see. Election day is today, or selection day is today. So we'll see. All right. So that being said, I ain't even gave my intro. Happy Tuesday, everybody. It is November the 3rd, 2020. Day 292 of year 2 of reading through the books of the law and the prophets. And of the 2-year consecutive day count, it is day 656. Today we're reading Psalm 95, 96, 97, and 98. And they all average about 10 verses. So I'll be done in about 10 minutes. All right, y'all. So Psalm 95. Yes, it is a complete mess, Shelby. Let me backtrack to my... Okay, Psalm 95. Come, let us sing to Yahuwah. Let us shout joyfully to the rock of our salvation. Let us come to him with thanksgiving. Let us sing psalms of praise to him. For Yahuwah is a great God, a great king above all gods. He holds in his hands the depths of the earth and the mightiest mountains. The seas belong to him, for he made it. His hand formed the dry land too. Come, let us worship and bow down. Let us kneel before Yahuwah our Maker, for he is our God. We are the people he watches over, the flock under his care. If only you would listen to his voice today. Yahuwah says, don't harden your hearts as Israel did at Meribah, as they did at Massa in the wilderness. For there your ancestors tested and tried my patience, even though they saw everything I did. For 40 years I was angry with them, and I said, they are a people whose hearts turn away from me. They refuse to do what I tell them. So in my anger I took an oath. They would never enter my place of rest. Psalm 96. Sing a new song to Yahuwah. Let the whole earth sing to Yahuwah. Sing to Yahuwah. Praise his name. Each day proclaim the good news that he saves. Publish his glorious deeds among the nations. Tell everyone about the amazing things he does. Great is Yahuwah. He is most worthy of praise. He is to be feared above all gods. The God of other nations are mere idols, but Yahuwah made the heavens. Honor and majesty surround him. Strength and beauty fill his sanctuary. O nations of the world, recognize Yahuwah. Recognize Yahuwah is glorious and strong. Give Yahuwah the glory he deserves. Bring your offering and come into his courts. Worship Yahuwah in all his holy splendor. Let all the earth tremble before him. Tell all the nations, Yahuwah reigns. The world stands firm and cannot be shaken. He will judge all peoples fairly. Let the heavens be glad and let the earth rejoice. Let the sea and everything in it shout his praise. Let the fields and their crops burst out with joy. Let the trees of the forest sing for joy before Yahuwah, for he is coming. He is coming to judge the earth. He will judge the world with justice and the nations with his truth. Psalms 97. Yahuwah is king. Let the earth rejoice. Let the farthest coastlands be glad. Dark clouds surround him. Righteousness and justice are the foundation of his throne. Fire spreads ahead of him and burns up all his foes. His lightning flashes out across the world. The earth sees and trembles. The mountains melt like wax before Yahuwah, the God of all the earth. The heavens proclaim his righteousness. Every nation sees his glory. Those who worship idols are disgraced. All who brag about their worthless gods, for every god must bow to him. Jerusalem has heard and rejoiced, and all the towns of Judah are glad, because of your justice, O Yah. For you, O Yah, are supreme over all the earth. You are exalted far above all gods. You who love Yahuwah hate evil. He protects the lives of his godly people and rescues them from the power of the wicked. Light shines on the godly and joy on those whose hearts are right. May all who are godly rejoice in Yahuwah and praise his holy name. Last chapter for today, y'all, Psalm chapter 98. It's 9 verses. Sing a new song to Yahuwah, for he has done wonderful deeds. His right hand has won a mighty victory. His holy arm has shown his saving power. Yahuwah has announced his victory and has revealed his righteousness to every nation. He has remembered his promise to love and to be faithful to Israel. The ends of the earth have seen the victory of Yahuwah, our God. Shout to Yahuwah, all the earth. Break out in praise and sing for joy. Sing your praise to Yahuwah with the harp and a melodious song, with trumpets and the sound of the ram's horn. Make a joyful symphony before Yahuwah, the King. Let the sea and everything in it shout his praise. Let the earth and all living things join in. Let the rivers clap their hands in glee. Let the hills sing out their songs of joy before Yahuwah, for he is coming to judge the earth. He will judge the world with justice and the nations with fairness. All right, beautiful people, let's head on over to the blessing. Y'all know where that's found. Numbers chapter 6. And remember, what's the first 21 verses? Everybody should know by now. I repeat it like every day we hear. It's the Nazarite vow. And remember, the Nazarite vow, the first 21 verses, 1 through 21, it talks about those men or women, either man or woman, can make a special vow of the Nazarite, setting themselves apart to Yahuwah in a special way. And with this vow, they must not drink alcoholic drinks, no wine or vinegar from the tree. You can't drink fresh grape juice. You can't eat fresh grapes, dried grapes. Remember, raisins, you can't eat them either because they're essentially dried grapes. I would probably put prunes in that same category. But you can't eat those, drink those. You can't cut your hair during the time of your vow. You must let the locks of your hair grow long. No scissors. Let's just say anything that will cut the hair, scissors, razor, anything. It cannot touch your hair because you wear your consecration on your head. That's your vow. That's what it says. You wear your consecration on your head to Yah. So during the time of this vow, the locks of your hair grow long. You cannot eat anything of the grapevine, drink it, juicy, wet, dry. You cannot go near a dead body, human or beast, because doing that particular thing right there, going near a dead body, touching it, human or beast, person or animal, will cause your vow to be broken. If you happen by mistake to violate your vow in any other way, you can simply repent, but actually touching a dead body, human or beast, will nullify your vow. And if you take a 5-year vow to be a Nazarite, and if you're 4 years in and you touch a dead body, human or beast, your whole vow is dull. It's null, and it's you got to start over. That's what he says. If you break it that way, you have to start your vow all the way over, and you must fulfill the original vow from the very beginning. So if you were 4 years in and you broke it by touching a dead body, human or beast, even if it was by mistake, your vow is broken, and you have to start over. You got to start back at year 1 and complete the full 5-year vow that you set before y'all. So like I said, man or woman could take that vow. That's something that you dedicate to Yah. You know, it's not a vow to be taken lightly. Think about it today. Oh yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. No, because this is a long vow. And you can tell it's a long vow simply because the hair on your head, this is wrong. The hair on your head grows long, and a lot of time your hair don't grow long in a year. So I would say, based on how my hair grows, it's at the very least a 2-year vow. A 2-year vow. At the very least. And that could be wrong. I said that's just based on how fast my hair grows. So I would think it wouldn't be anything less than 2 years. So think about it, ponder on it, consider all things that would be required of you. If you're a big drinker, you know, you can't drink any strong drink during the time of your vow. So you have to be willing to give up those things. And also, since you can't touch a dead body, if you think just a little bit deeper below the surface, that means you also can't eat meat, because meat is dead flesh. You cannot consume dead flesh if you can't touch dead flesh. You can't have your spouse or friend put dead flesh in your mouth and think you bypassing the, oh, I didn't touch it, I had somebody else. No, because the beast meat is going in your mouth and it's in your sip. You can't touch it. So you have to consider that as well. No alcoholic beverages. No meat. If you're having a problem with that and you think you want to take this vow, maybe you should take some time, a year or so, just to wean yourself off of those things, so you don't have such a hard time during the time of the vow. If you choose to take it, it's a voluntary vow. Think about it. Don't make vows lightly to y'all. So think about it. If you want to do it, prepare yourself ahead of time. You know. So, and even with your hair, if you think if you've been big on doing your hair, getting it done every week, you know, hey, you're going to have to think of some protective styles. Dreadlocks is a really good style, you know. Depending on when you go get your hair retwisted, if they use like crochet needles to get some of that free hair in. I don't know. Is that considered cutting? Not necessarily, but it could. And you got a hairstylist on your head twisting, if they don't know that you've taken a Nazarite vow and they see a lock that's kind of thinning out and they want to thicken it up, or they need to like detach one and reattach it, because I caught myself, wait, nope, please, no scissors, just don't worry about it. Add it together with another one. We'll fix that along the way. You have to be careful about those things. You like really have to think this through. You know, if you're going to twist it, you can twist it, just palm roll it or however, just don't put scissors to your hair, because that will cause you to break your vow as well. Touching a dead body and cutting your hair, because the hair is your sign of consecration. So, like I said, it's not to be taken lightly. You should thoroughly think it through. Take some time and thoroughly think it through and prepare yourself to do this if you should decide to take that vow. All right, so that's Numbers chapter 6, verse 1 through 21. I would encourage you to go read it in its full entirety. So you know what? Why not? We're here. Let me just read it to you. We're here already. Okay. This is probably the first time, well, since when we were in Numbers, I read it, but here you go. Numbers chapter 6. Then Yahuwah said to Moses, give the following instructions to the people of Israel. If any of the people, either men or women, take the special vow of a Nazarite, setting themselves apart to Yahuwah in a special way, they must give up wine and other alcoholic drinks. They must not use vinegar made from wine or from other alcoholic drinks. They must not drink fresh grape juice, and they must not eat grapes or raisins. As long as they are bound by their Nazarite vow, they are not allowed to eat or drink anything that comes from the grapevine, not even the grape seed or skins. And remember, if you're cooking a little more healthy and use grapeseed oil, you can't use that either. You have to be careful. Verse 5, they must never cut their hair throughout the time of their vow, for they are holy and set apart to Yahuwah. Until the time of their vow has been fulfilled, they must let their hair grow long. And they must not go near a dead body during the entire period of their vow to Yahuwah. Even if the dead person is their own father, mother, brother, or sister, they must not defile themselves, for the hair on their head is the symbol of their separation to Yahuwah. This requirement applies as long as they are set apart unto Yahuwah. If someone falls dead beside them, the hair they have dedicated will be defiled. They must wait 7 days and then shave their heads. Then they will be cleansed from their defilement. On the 8th day, they must bring 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons to the priest at the entrance of the tabernacle. The priest will offer one of the birds for a sin offering and the other for a burnt offering. In this way, he will purify them from the guilt they incurred through the contact with the dead body. Okay, I'm not going to get into all the details about this right here, but if this happens today, you would simply repent. That's what you would do. Remember, I'm doing the whole thing on the sacrifices, and some were added and some applied, but some really did not apply, and it was added 11. So if you happen to take it, and you by chance defile yourself, breaking your vow, you will simply repent, and then you will start your vow over. Follow this, repent, and then you start it over on the 8th day. Yeah, you would just simply repent, wait 7 days, and start it over. I'll read that again. If someone falls dead beside them, the hair they have dedicated will be defiled. They must wait for 7 days and then shave their heads. Then they will be cleansed from their defilement. On the 8th day, they must bring 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons to the priest at the entrance of the tabernacle. The priest will offer one of the birds for a sin offering and the other for a burnt offering. In this way, he will purify them from the guilt they incurred through the contact with the dead body. Then they must reaffirm their commitment and let their hair begin to grow again. The days of their vow that were completed before their defilement no longer count. They must rededicate themselves to Yahuwah as a Nazarite for the full term of their vow, and each must bring a 1-year-old male lamb for a guilt offering. This is the ritual law for Nazarites. At the conclusion of the time of the separation as a Nazarite, they must each go to the entrance of the tabernacle and offer their sacrifices to Yahuwah. A 1-year-old male lamb without defect for a burnt offering, 1 year female lamb without defect for a sin offering, and a ram without defect for a peace offering, a basket of bread made without yeast, cakes of choice flour mixed with olive oil, and wafers spread with olive oil, along with their prescribed grain offerings and liquid offerings. The priest will present these offerings before Yahuwah, first the sin offering and the burnt offering, then a ram for a peace offering, along with the basket of bread made without yeast. The priest must also present the prescribed grain offering and liquid offering to Yahuwah. Then the Nazarite will shave their head at the entrance of the tabernacle. They will take the hair that had been dedicated and place it on the fire beneath the peace offering sacrifice. After the Nazarite's head has been shaved, the priest will take for each of them a boiled shoulder of the ram, and he will take from the basket a cake and a wafer made without yeast. He will put them all into the Nazarite's hands, and then the priest will lift them up as a special offering before Yahuwah. These are holy portions for the priest, along with the breast of the special offering and the thigh of the sacred offering that are lifted up before Yahuwah. After this ceremony, the Nazarites may drink wine again. This is the ritual law of the Nazarite who vow to bring these offerings before Yahuwah. They may also bring additional offerings if they can afford it, and they must be careful to do whatever they vow when they set themselves apart as Nazarites. All right, y'all. So that is the law of the Nazarite. Okay, so remember, when you go and you decide to do this, remember the animal sacrifices and all that stuff do not count, because you can still, even this day, as I saw y'all about it, he said, though, okay, for sake of having to explain all this again, read it without the animal sacrifices in there, because they do not apply. They absolutely do not apply. Just remember that everything else can be done without that. The same thing. So at the end of your vow, you'll simply cut your hair. And I think I would actually even go, and this is just me, when I cut my hair at the end of my vow, I think I'm gonna probably, I don't know, maybe just put it in a bowl and burn it. Simply because I don't want to just like throw it away in the trash, but I simply want to make sure it's completely dissolved, and I want to watch it completely dissolve away, if that makes sense, So I guess that could be because that's what they were going to do. They were going to put the hair with the offering, and they were going to burn it. That would be considered a burnt offering. Some people you talk to them, that's, that kind of sound like witchcraft. No, I mean, that's personally just me, because I know witchcraft is done. Not that there's anybody around my house around here doing witchcraft, but people do take strands of your DNA and hair and perform real witchcraft rituals. So that's simply why I would take it, and I would watch all my hair completely burn up, so at the end of my vow. Or some people may just take it and throw their hair in the trash. I don't know. Yeah, see, I mean, yeah, I was too. When I grew up, my mom, when they would do that, they would take it, put it in the ashtray, and burn it up. And I'm going to ask her about it today, too. I don't know. They could probably think the same thing, because I knew they talked about different things. Not that they did witchcraft or anything, but we know that there's people who do witchcraft. And you ain't getting none of my strand of DNA and all that stuff. Like people that do voodoo dolls, y'all know that stuff is real. And that stuff actually works. Not saying that I've done it, but I've heard some stories of different people even doing something. Even growing up in high school, talking to somebody. They didn't go to our high school, Alicia. They actually was going to a high school in Chicago. It was my best friends cousins who would come down, and they would tell us some of the stuff that was happening in their house and what their mom was doing. I'm like it blew me away. So I know this stuff is real, So, and a few more things that I've experienced in life, and I know. So that's why I would personally, at the end of my Nazarite vow, I would take it and I would make sure it all burns away, so there is nothing left of it, So, but that's it, y'all. All right, so let's do the blessing. Hold on, y'all. Oh, no wonder why. Oh, I didn't hit this. I was like, something has changed about this. Okay. Okay, y'all, so the blessing, yes, is real. No weapon formed against us shall prosper. Yes, Alicia, absolutely. So if you decide to take that, remember, It's in Numbers chapter 6, verses 1 through 21. And the blessing is found starting at verse 22 all the way to the end of the chapter, which is verse 27. And Yahuwah spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron and unto his sons, saying, On this wise ye shall bless the children of Israel, saying unto them, May Yahuwah bless us and keep us. May Yahuwah make his face to shine upon us and be gracious unto us. May Yahuwah lift up his countenance upon us and give us his peace. And they shall put my name upon the children of Israel, and I will bless them. All right, beautiful people. That's it. All right. So today we find out who the winner is going to be. And when we come back in the morning, hopefully ain't no shenanigans. We'll know who the president is, whether it's the current one taking the next term or we have a new POTUS coming in office. So it's going to be a quite eventful night, y'all. So, all right, y'all. Love you. See you bright and early in the morning, 7:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.